Hi guys, today is September the 29th, 2019 at 26 minutes past 10 in the morning over here in the UK. In the last video I talked about October 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th, and I said that I should include September 30th for whatever reason, and I think I have the reason. Over here is the house, and on the house there's a number 3 and what looks like the number 1, which gives me a reference to the 31st of December, which is New Year's. We can get rid of this. 1 second. Let's just copy. There we are. That's fine. But in the middle of the 1, there's a gap which gives it a duplicate meaning, or possible duplicate meaning, of being 1 and also a 0. Now I'm saying that brings me back to 10-3, but I'm going to talk about the 30th of September anyway, just in case. If nothing happens September the 30th, then this translation extends for October the 3rd, just according to what I just did just then, which was representation of 1 and 0, and then you've got the 3 right next to it. So if we're talking September the 30th or October the 3rd, whichever day, I've talked about the building and how it represents a rocket or a missile, and the window, the circular window at the top, gives us a reference to two things: the nuclear symbol on a nuclear weapon, such as a nuclear missile or rocket, and also a church. A church has like circular windows, usually around the top, stained glass kind of effect. Now with the 1 and 0, it also could represent a spire, which could give us a reference to the Notre Dame fire. Obviously that was a church, well, a cathedral, and it was on fire. It had a spire that collapsed, so that could be it. But it could also be another church, and the church I have in mind is St. Paul's Chapel. It's nicknamed the Little Chapel That Stood. It's located in Lower Manhattan in New York. It has connections to September the 11th. So let me just find it. The rear of St. Paul's Chapel faces Church Street, opposite the east side of the World Trade Center site. After the attacks on September 11, 2001, which led to the collapse of the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center, St. Paul's Chapel served as a place of rest and refuge for recovery workers at the World Trade Center site. For 8 months, hundreds of volunteers worked 12-hour shifts around the clock, serving meals, making beds, counseling and praying, with firefighters, construction workers, police and others. Massage therapists, chiropractors, podiatrists and musicians also tended to their needs. The church survived without even a broken window. Church history declares it was spared by a miracle sycamore on the northwest corner of the property that was hit by the debris. The tree, which is a sycamore root, has been preserved in a bronze memorial by sculptor Steve Tobin. While the church's organ was badly damaged by smoke and dirt, the organ has been refurbished and is in use again. It's this part here that draws my. The church survived without even a broken window and is spared by a miracle sycamore opposite the World Trade Center. It says to me that there could be a potential for that particular church to be involved in an event like that, possibly on the 30th of September or even on the 3rd of October. Now, in relation to what could happen there, with the house looking like a nuclear weapon, we have the news reports that came out last year with pipe bombs being sent to Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, CNN offices, and that was in Manhattan. But even prior to that, as a lot of you are aware, we had Obama saying that he was worried about a nuclear weapon in Manhattan. So President Obama invoked a bracing image responding to a question about the threat Russia poses to America while speaking at a nuclear security summit in Brussels on Tuesday. Russia's actions don't pose the number one national security threat to the United States, Obama said in The Hague, the Netherlands. I continue to be much more concerned when it comes to our security with the prospect of a nuclear weapon going off in Manhattan. So I'm just linking these things. We've got a church that was in the area of the September 11 attacks, which was unaffected. We have the prospects of Obama worrying about a nuclear bomb going off in Manhattan, pipe bombs sent to locations within Manhattan, and then we have the building which looks like a church, which could represent a nuclear symbol on it. with the possibility of the number 31, 30, or 10-3 attached to it, and on the other side the N and the Y giving us a possible reference to New York. Obviously, I've also interpreted a lobster claw in there, which could give us a reference to Red Lobster, but that also acts as the letter M, which could give us a reference to Manhattan. So keep an eye out, September 30th. Obviously, if nothing occurs on that date, then it shifts to 10-3 with the markup here representing a 1 and a 0, and the 3 being just by itself a 3. I'm not sure if October the 3rd is a Wednesday. Let me have a look. No, it's a Thursday, so that doesn't play into it. I'm sure this is probably something else as well as the number 3. Again, it could be an M, but we also have an M on this side. Could be a Y. It's just kind of like a duplicate of this. So 9:30, September 30th. Keep an eye out for a potential bomb or a fire, at least, in Manhattan, maybe in connection with the St. Paul's Church, the little chapel that stood. If not on that date, then keep an eye on October the 3rd. Obviously, that would follow from October the 2nd. If October, again, I'm just going to point out another reference to October the 2nd. If October the 2nd is the 8th month on the Roman calendar, then we've got 8 teeth in the middle, surrounded by a 2, which would be 8-2 on the Roman calendar, which is 10-2 on the Gregorian calendar. So with that said, I think I've covered what I wanted to cover. September 30th, October the 1st, October the 2nd, October the 3rd, October the 4th. We do have a lot of references to 5 in this video as well, so I wouldn't rule out including October the 5th as well. It always seems to be a week of translation in terms of events and dates whenever they come up, so just look out for the week, basically. Obviously September the 30th is Monday, so that would begin the week, and then it ends on the 6th of October, which would complete the week. So keep an eye out.